All right, everyone, welcome back to the LPR Trading YouTube channel. We've got a group trade that we took this afternoon that we're going to go over today. We're inside our Discord discussing a potential move on ES here into the close, and we actually caught an awesome short off these highs here into the close. So I want to talk about this trade a little bit as we were discussing with our group as it was playing out. But what this trade really weighed on were a few things: lack of volume on high of day breaks, lack of action on the depth of market on Jigsaw, which is what you see here. In my opinion, if buyers are really strong and we do get high of day breaks and they want to push price to the upside, they're going to break high of day and push it with volume. Now, every time we broke high of day on ES today, or in the late afternoon session into the close, we failed to push high of day with volume. Every single time that we broke, we failed to push high of day with continued volume. So if we have a look at our charts here, we'll mark up some areas. This was an initial high that we were watching that actually some people took shorts off of into our supply area here, which is a really great trade. We came back, we retested this area, and then we sort of pressure cooked into this area, which was really nice. This was actually a nice entry to get long for the pop through high of day if that's what you were playing. On the flip side, you could have been looking for the trap above high of day, which a lot of the traders were looking for. Now, this sort of had pieces, a little piece of the trade that we took this afternoon. It played a significance here. This level is what I wanted to say. So what we were looking at today on ES, when ES finally ran up and broke this initial high of day set in at 11 o'clock, we ran up, we held above high of day, which was fine. But as you notice, every time we make new highs, if we consider this a new high, it was just lacking volume. And I actually started ES short in this area right here the first time, and I got stopped out above high of day. This is fine. I was looking at our depth of market on Jigsaw, and I could see that there was just no follow through over high of day. We had no one hitting the market on the ask. So every time we broke high of day, like I said before, it was just weak. You can see this both on the candlestick chart and you can see it on your depth of market real time. And I was watching the depth of market as well as the candlestick chart because I like to have my layout sort of like this. So I can see what's going on in the depth, I can see what's going on in the charts, and also have the time and sales, and we can really see what's happening here. Now, like I said, we want those explosive moves through high of day if there's going to be a push, and when there isn't, we can start really looking to the short side, and that's what we did. So unfortunately, we got stopped out on the first trade, but that's fine. It actually gave us another setup here. So this is the first trade we got stopped out on right here. We got short in this area. When we broke high of day again, after we were really making these higher lows into the high, we pushed high of day right here. We actually took out a bunch of stops in this area. And then this is when ES started getting weak. We really started getting weak in this area. And what we wanted off of this trade was we wanted some big red candles on volume. So this candle right here is a big red candle on volume. I actually started layering in short as soon as we got this big red candle. Once we started failing to make new highs and new high of days, we knew that buyers weren't showing up. And how do we know buyers weren't showing up? Like I said before, the depth of market is showing us the order flow that's happening in real time, the exchange of orders that is happening in real time on both the bid and the ask at the market, as well as a ton of other information. But this is what we're talking about here today. Now, when we pop this red candle in right here, or this bearish candle in right here, we knew that there was going to be a pullback of weak buyers. Okay, the market's going to be it's going to try and push itself up on weak buyers here. As long as we can hold below the highs, this is actually a potential add. And this is what I did here. I actually added to the position in this area for another leg to the downside. And what we were actually waiting for is something that we call a kill candle. And it's a pretty known term around here. It's not something that we've made up. It's just a term we use for a bearish candle that is going to kill all of the stops, or all of the stops of our long orders. Okay, and typically what these kill candles do is they kill multiple layers of stops. So if you have a bearish candle that's grinding down slowly, it's grinding down really slowly, it's not as likely it's going to tag a ton of stops. If you have a candle like this candle doesn't look like very much right now, but in fact when this candle happened, it just went boom, and in 2 seconds, 1 second, it was bang, down at the lows, triggered all the stops, and actually people came in and tried to buy for value here. Now, at this point, we know we're in really good right here, so we could have stops over these pivot highs, or even keep your stop over high of day and really let the trade work out. What is our key level here that we need to get under in order to prove to us that this is a really good short and we're in the money on the short? Well, it's going to be this previous high of day like I spoke about before. Price came up, held above that previous high of day that was made. We had a nice kill candle that destroyed all the stops. Buyers came back in, tried to represent price and push price back up. And then what do? We rolled over. We held under previous high of day right here, which is a beautiful add if you want to add into your winner. It's a beautiful add right here, holding under previous high of day, and then we get these candles that really start flushing to the downside. Now, every flush to the downside tries to get bought back up, but immediately after, boom, the sellers come in. We try to get bought back up. Boom, the sellers come back in. My final and ultimate target for this thing was 45750. Okay, 45750s right in this area. Now, why was this my target? If you can see these gray areas on my chart, let me just draw them right here. If you can see these gray areas on my chart, these are points of control. Okay, this is where the most volume was done by price at the given time, or for the session, for today's session. Now, before we put in this big ledge on this POC right here, the previous point of control was right inside of this area. This was the previous point of control. So I was looking to take my profits into that previous point of control and be all out of the trade. Now, hindsight always says, oh, you should have held some, you should have held some, and maybe I should have. Maybe this thing flies down and breaks low of day today. But I had a target, and essentially I was in the trade with an average around here. My stop was here. We got an add, and we got all out here. So this turns out to be a great trade. And it was a super easy trade for the community to take, which is awesome. We talked through this whole thing. Excuse me one second. Sorry, I had to mute my mic there for a sec. I had to cough. We talked through this whole trade as it was playing out. And the beauty of this trade is you could really see everything playing out. Like I said, we're market lawyers, and we use different pieces of data, such as the chart, price action, order flow, volume, in order to build a case where we can execute a trade, a high probability trade. Now, this trade for some feels uncomfortable because we're moving up, we're breaking to new highs. Nobody really wants to get in front of a freight train and short this thing. But the key to this whole thing was we identified it was not a freight train. Okay, it was not moving through highs with power and strength and authority. It was just moving through highs, killing stops, right? It was killing stops, and no buyers were willing to step up and hold value up in these areas. So we realized it wasn't a freight train. It was a smart car. No offense to anyone who drives a smart car. I think they're great. But we were able to get in front of this and turn this thing around. Not us. The bigger money was turning it around, but we were able to hop on their wave and take this trade down. So it's a great trade to close the day out right here, especially with the group. Fantastic trade. If you guys want to become a part of our Discord community, visit our website. Link is in the bio. And if you guys have any questions, please like, comment, subscribe. Any questions that you guys have in the comment section, I'll be sure to read them. We'll be sure to like them. And we'll be sure to get back to you with any video requests or questions that you guys might have for our trading or our trading room. Anyways, that's it for this one. We'll see you guys next time.